Hey guys, welcome to the Wilkie Experience. Today I've got my boy Mtho. It's his first time on the camera. First time in front of a camera, and he's nervous as. You're right over there, buddy.
I'm alright.
You sure
I'm
you don't need a towel, tissue? Alright, cool. So Mtho and I, we've been boys for 10. It's been a decade actually.
Over 10 years.
Actually, yeah, this is the 11th year. I actually met you probably around this time, 2010.
Yeah.
Damn, it's been a while. And you know, we obviously were the silly ones. We used to do a whole lot, and back then he used to play golf. So he was Tiger Woods. Yeah, we used to know him as Tiger Woods. You know, he'd make so much money. You know, that one kid would go away over the weekend, come back with so much money. And now we had the pressure to buy pizza. You know, we had pizza on Monday, Wacky Wednesday, and there was something else on Friday.
Something else, yeah. It was the food club.
Yeah, the food club.
The food club, yeah.
Damn, nah, it's been a while. But yeah, just a brief history. So we became friends, we became really close. And over the years, he shot off to South Africa and then went to Australia. And then 2015, was it? That's when we started Quick Edge.
Quick Edge, yes.
We started our first business, which went so well. And in the beginning, because I think we were making, I remember calculating, we were making nothing less than 170% profit from selling those energy drinks.
So the market at the time was pretty prime, because this is when Dragon had actually come out. Then we told ourselves, look, we taste better than Dragon. We had different flavors, and we just said, let's just jump into the Zim market and try this out.
That thing tasted like Red Bull, though, if I must say.
Yeah, the original tasted like Red Bull.
And Baobab tasted like Amarula.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like crazy. So we started that business, and you know, we had quick transport, we had this
quick
huge
sport,
we had this huge vision. Got into so many partnerships that then disappeared over time.
Yeah.
The energy drink company closed down, and
remember, we almost got a deal with the Ministry of Sports to supply supplements.
Oh, supplements, yes. And that funny porridge, that instant porridge
as well, which would have been the Future Life. In comparison, we'd compare it to Future Life, and we'd compare it with which other brand?
So
we were ahead of our time that time.
Yeah, we were really ahead of our time.
We were ahead of our time, but then
I don't know.
Things just didn't move.
Yeah, we just didn't move.
Yeah, it just didn't move.
And then I remember in 2015 also, we both got into Forex trading.
Yeah.
You know, we were at it for a while. We were on top of the world. You know, I was the scalper. You know, you were the day trader. And we even had that crazy investment thing that we had going on, where that 50% one that almost sunk us in the head.
Yes.
Imagine just sitting there making 50% a month from doing nothing.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
And that one lady we won't mention that wanted to give us 50K. You know, imagine her making 50% of 50K every month.
Yeah. That would have been crazy, because also the tax implications in South Africa, SARS would have left right and center with us, and it would have just been late.
You know, but the craziest thing is, even after going through so many business ventures that failed, you know, we're still here, and you know, we're still, you know, we're actually dressed like this because we're definitely going to work after this. We just decided, let's do a quick podcast before we go. But bro, I mean, Forex trading, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing between us. You know, that's the one language we both understand. We understand investments, but Forex trading, it's crazy, because you then went ahead and actually studied to become officially an Elliott wave analyst.
Yes.
You know, and it's crazy because I see you counting waves, and I'm like, I could never do that. Like I could never do that. So, you know, just for clarity's sake, you know, please tell my people, please tell the audience, how exactly do you find Forex trading? You know, like a lot of people, obviously, there've been scams and whatever. But, you know, when you tell people that, guys, like, there was a time, you know, through experience, obviously, you know, I remember there was a time I traded $5 to $400. You know, but that's obviously because of experience.
Yes.
And I think what most people have missed is the fact that you need to learn. It's the education part. You need proper mentorship before you can, you can even call yourself a trader. But now, because this information seems to be readily available, and YouTube, the University of YouTube is readily available for everyone. Everyone wants to just do forex trading, but then they don't want to pay for mentorship. Because I'll tell you a funny story. I don't know if I told you this. When I started forex trading, I lost 6,000-7,000 my first 6 months. Because I wasn't about to pay $500 for mentorship. For what?
Exactly.
YouTube had the stuff. I was learning. But then only after 6-7 months did I realize, look, that's why in school we had a syllabus. The teacher would take topic number 1 from the first page of the syllabus, and then next week she would teach us something from the back of the syllabus, and we never used to really understand what she was doing. But she knew how to link the stuff together. Same thing with forex trading. So, maybe you can shed more light, because I know a lot of people think they've probably been scammed.
Yes.
It's real, it's happening. But maybe you could shed more light when it comes to forex trading. And you definitely got that company, Nas Capital. You might as well touch on Nas Capital and what you're trying to do with it in the market.
Okay. So the thing is, the primary reason people get scammed is because they'll see 100% return, 200% return, 300% return. My strategy is 100% guaranteed. There's nothing 100% like in this life. Eh? There really isn't. And you just need to realize that if you want to make money, it's over a long period of time. You need to accept that it's a percentage gain month over month over month. And if you want to start withdrawing and whatnot, it has to be after 6 months, it has to be after a year. Because the only way you make money with trading is if you're consistent. If someone comes and offers you such, they're wrong. I think the best in the world, my mentor, is right about 60% of the time. Right. And this guy is rich. He's rich. I got tired of dealing with owns in SA who would always promise you 100% return, no, come, give you mentorship. I realized that most of the education that's in Africa is absolute nonsense, if we're to be honest. Because no one takes the time to actually develop and become better. It's the same reason why we don't actually have proper hedge funds in Africa. And that's the whole, then it goes to the part of Nas Capital. I want to set up a hedge fund. I am pushing Nas Capital to become bigger and better, and to then become a hedge fund. Because even with what I'm doing now with the account management, it's an issue swapping accounts. Right. When you're trading, you go open a trade there, go swap, go open another trade on another account. It becomes such a process and it becomes tedious. And the tax implications on that as well are always an issue.
Right. Okay. So one thing I've noticed though, people in Africa, they have a hard time understanding compounding. They really have a hard time understanding compounding because, when you compound, you can literally go from, let's say we're doing 10% every month. You see, 10% of $10 is $1. So next month you have $11, right? When you compound and you now go 10% of $11, you actually have more money than you had last month. It's a couple of cents, yes, but you essentially have more money than what you had last month. You keep doing that, and in due time, I remember Grant Cardone said the one time, he said, you are 9 doubles away from $1 million. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said you start with 1,000 and then you double it to 2,000, and then I think he did a whole thing. Or was it 10,000? I'm not sure. But if you do the math, you obviously pick it up. It's like you're 9 doubles away. So it's, if you're doubling all the time, which is a form of compounding, but people just don't want that. So when you tell someone, look, I can get you maybe even 35% over a period of 12 months. For them, it doesn't make sense, because in Zimbabwe, we do a deal today. You could literally make
100%,
make 100%,
same day,
300% same day. I could get into a deal and walk away with 150,000, and it could take someone else, 12 months to get 150,000. So how are you going to tackle that? Because obviously this is what people are used to.
Yeah.
This is what they want. This is what they're used to. They're used to, these ridiculous returns, but it's not sustainable over time. So how are you going to tackle that with Nas Capital? Because people are naturally resistant to change. They don't want to change. They're just used to, their in thing, because it took them a long time to accept Via, which is like Uber here.
Yeah.
But for most people that had already been exposed, they hopped onto it straight away. They knew what it was and all that. But, how are you going to tell them, look, you're going to have to stop thinking 100%, 300%, and think maybe 20% is really okay over a period of 12 months. How are you going to do that?
So the thing with Nas Capital, right? There's a division, Nas Capital Management.
Yeah.
So Nas Capital Management will primarily try outperform the S&P 500.
Okay.
So the point is to use international standards, not this thing of a dealer mentality.
Okay.
Because that dealer mentality, you have one deal that will go right and you make money, and tomorrow another deal will go wrong and you lose that money.
All right.
As well. So it's always a 50-50 chance with deals. You will hear people getting closed and all that, but that's not what we want to do. We want to create a proper international structure.
Okay.
And because of that, I'm not worried about the people who decide that, no, your return is too low. Because initially, I'm going to put my money into the fund.
Okay.
And then from there, as I grow and I show the returns over time, people who actually have money will come and be like, listen, you've got the track record, you're doing a great job, here's my money. Because the people outside internationally, that's what they're doing. And I don't see why we can't do that in Africa as well.
We really need to figure out how they're doing it, because they surely don't sit and work as hard as we work in Africa, bro. If I knew the things I knew now, like the things that I know now, if I knew them before, I would have just gone and done that.
Exactly.
Because, and it's not about, people just think, it's all these things, the fancy things we hear, no, invest in this, invest in that. I know right now there's that cryptocurrency rush, but, people don't have the heart to hold. Imagine the people who bought Bitcoin at $100 and then it shot up all the way to 65. But it was over a couple of years. But imagine had it dropped from $100 and gone down to $20, some people would have folded.
Yes.
And that's the kind of mentality that we have. Like, folks don't really know how to hold investments and everything. And I think it's just lack of knowledge. So please write us a book. Please write a book for us, because we definitely need it. I mean, we've been doing this, and I realized we've been Forex trading, and I don't even think we started. I think we started knowing about Forex trading before, because I was calculating it the other day. I think next year it's about a decade of us, doing Forex trading. But the craziest thing is we've been so inconsistent with it, because we used to trade when we wanted something, which was also wrong, because in Forex, if you trade when you want something, you get the money, but sometimes it won't happen. Which is obviously not something we're trying to do or encourage. But we could have the fancy Lamborghinis by now had we just kept the monies in the accounts and just grown the money over time, because I mean, we made quite a bit. I mean, we used to live good. And now we've been humbled. We're now back to square one. We're like, okay, now we need to do the proper procedures. So, I'm pretty glad I'm having this conversation with you, because this goes beyond Nas Capital, and this is a Wilkie experience, and we've experienced a lot of things together. So I'm gonna stop talking about business for a while, because the one thing that affects people our age, well, gents. Why you laugh?
No, carry on.
Because I'm about to talk about your favorite topic. Women. Girls, right? We're talking about girls right now, because obviously we're gents. And, for girls it would be guys. At such a young age, how have you managed to handle women? Because, I mean, it's the dimples. I know. The dimples. I know the dimple effect. The dimple effect. You've got two, I've got one. So I half understand what you go through. But anyway, obviously, a good-looking guy, obviously the things that we knew, we were definitely ahead of our time. You definitely had women after you. You definitely were after women. How did you How did you balance that out? How did you balance it out? Because it's really hard because you're trying to make money. You're trying to focus on one thing, but then there's a big distraction where it just goes all over the place and there's just a wide choice. You know, how did you handle that?
So, pretty poorly. Let me be honest.
I know.
Exactly.
You're honest. I know.
You already know.
I was getting the phone calls.
Yeah.
Your friend.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
friend.
Yeah, that's true. Eh?
Yeah.
So, the biggest challenge, that I've realized now is that it's something that even Sam speaks about in the book. I know we'll get later on, but he primarily speaks about being focused.
Yeah.
Being goal-driven. I remember in high school, he used to be the CEO of Maneko.
Okay.
Right? And I was on the production side. And we started making money in high school.
Yeah.
He had a vision. He was like 10 years ahead of us, if I'm to be honest, mentally. He had such a vision and he had a drive that drove him where he is now.
Okay.
So where he is now is because of what he started, the foundation he had. So for me in particular, I primarily focused on golf. You know, playing for the national team, making money. I was like, life's good. You know? I was like, life's good.
We had the business club.
Exactly.
In high school,
the business club was also making money, you know. So
but then that girl really embezzled our funds too. You know, we need to sue her for that. We want our money.
Yeah. Certain women came which were distractions, and there were lessons that I had to learn at the time.
Right.
That I am then using now. So now I don't let women distract me the way I used to. But then now my vision is a lot more focused because of all the mistakes I made.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter if you make $1 million at 40 compared to 30. Gary Vee always says this, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because you want to make $1 million now, but why don't you do the things you need to do now so that you make $1 million at 30 or make $1 million at 40? That's the thing. So that's the mindset I have. I'm not really worried that I haven't gotten to $1 million now, but then I need to make sure that I do the right stuff now to make sure I get $1 million 5 years or 10 years from now. On my IG, I have 2025.
Right.
So 2025 is significant because right now, with my own capital in the hedge fund, by the time we get to 2025, I'll have all the necessary documentation that I need, all the necessary exams I would have passed them to allow me to then go international.
See, that's good, because that's also a good thing, because now I don't have to go and do the exact same exams that you did. I can go and study something else and see how I can contribute in NAS Capital. If I don't want to do that, I can still put my money in the fund and let you run it. I don't have to do it myself, which is something that most people don't understand. You don't have to learn everything. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know someone who knows what they're doing, and you just invest with them. So if you're going to make $1 million, that basically means I'm going to make $1 million, because whatever you're putting in your fund, I'm going to match. And because I'm a risk taker, bro. Like, business is risk.
Yes.
And that's why our first company was Quick Edge. Limitless possibilities on the edge. We used to live on the edge so much, and we were such risk takers, and we just used to, just let it rip. Just
and
risk
that's
it all.
the most important thing, because those lessons that we've gone through, I promise you, most people right now are actually starting to dig into that. They're starting to learn about risk when we've gone through so much of it.
And we've lost so much money. But we're still here.
But we're still here. Yeah. You have to take risks as much as possible when you're young, when you have that cushion that's still there, when you still have that support system as your parents, as whoever who are still there. Because when you're on your own and you have responsibilities like crazy, then you can't do it.
When are you getting married?
You know what? Let me be frank.
Go.
The amount of money I've spent the last couple of years is primarily on my development personally.
All right.
Right? So even I know you've had the money to get married. I know you have. Right? The fact I've had it, I know you've had it.
Yeah.
But then it's about setting up enough structures, setting up enough things to make sure when you decide to get married, you're set.
Yeah.
You're no longer risking or being wild the way you were before. You're now just in a cool, calm place, and you're just growing what you have.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of us. You know, we haven't made it yet, but we are on our way.
But saying not made, we haven't made it yet, right? I need to stop you there.
Okay.
Because
Correct me.
someone else right now would be like, I've made it if they were in your shoes. The difference is we've been exposed
All right.
to a level that is really high and we're chasing after really high goals. So let's be honest.
All right, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, that is actually true. Because damn, there was a time. There was a time, but it's good. You know, we sit here, we laugh about these things because we want more for ourselves, and I commend us for that, because definitely girls were going to be a big problem. You know, because what we were doing then, you know, and you know, like we were being compared to everyone our age, and it was like, nah, this is the future. But when you look at it now, those guys now probably have made more than us, and they're probably happy. But as you said, we are exposed and our goals are so high. Sometimes I'm just scared. I'm just like, yo, I'm scared in a good way, because I'm just like, phew, these dreams, ne? But I'm like, we're going anyway. You know, we wake up, we're in all sorts of trouble, and I'm just like, we're gonna get out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know definitely after this, you know, we've got that one issue we need to sort out. But, you know, we're gonna go at it. But now we'll talk about women another time. How do you stay motivated?
That's a good question, eh? That's a very good question.
How do you stay motivated? 'Cause motivation lasts 72 hours. 72 hours. There's this one saying, this one quote. I used to love it so much. It was, motivation is like bathing. It only, what? No, it doesn't go like that. It was it was, motivation doesn't last. It's like bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. So you can wait for 72 hours, because I've gone out and I've given a talk, you know, during these life coaching, you know, sessions, and people leave that place motivated, or I'll listen to something, stay motivated, but in 72 hours it kind of wears out. So every single day it's like, you know, you just gotta stay motivated. So how do you stay motivated?
Can I, you know, it's not even about the money, eh?
I'm glad you said that.
It's not even about the money.
Yeah.
Because with the money we were making at some point, right? We could have just said we're content.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then
it's the reason why. That right there is called the reason why. Right? Sorry to cut you off, but that right there is something I learned. I learned it, I think I learned this when I was 22, 23. The reason why you do something will always push you to always wake up and try again, even when you don't feel like it, when you're having a bad day, when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, the reason why. So take, for example, for me, my reason why is my parents. I want to retire my parents. They've given me the best life they could possibly give me. And now I really want to retire them. So because of everything that they've done for me and the way I'm grateful, do you think if a deal goes wrong, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and not, you know, try and find another deal or work? No, I'm going to wake up and work because my parents mean that much to me. But if the motivation was money, it'd be like, okay, I want to make $1 million. Yes, I want to make $1 million. If I make $100,000, I really could be content and I'll stop, even though I know that 100,000 is not enough. So money is not a big enough motivator. I remember my mentor used to say to me, if you were to be put in between, if you were to be put on top of one skyscraper and they put a plank from one skyscraper to the next, and you've got safety nets and you've got, you know, harnesses and everything guiding you, and they told you to walk across, would you walk across for $1 million? And I'll be like, yeah, I'd walk across. And then they'll say, okay, if they were to do the exact same thing but remove the harnesses and the nets and everything, and I don't know how many 100 feet up, would you walk across? I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. But then my mentor would say, if I was to put the most important person in your life, at that point I was like, my mom. And then he said to me, if I was to put your mom on the other end and there was the plank and you had to go and save her because it was a burning building, would you walk across? I'm like, no doubt. That's when I realized. But I wouldn't do it for $1 million, but I would do it for my mom, someone who's really important to me.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, the reason why you do something has to be that much connected to you. Because for me, when I really get deeper into my reason why, I feel like crying. That's how deep it is. So that's a big enough motivator to have me wake up every day and want to do better for myself. So what you feel every day, the motivation, and it just comes. That's right there is your reason why. I don't know what it is, but if it's not money, then you're definitely on the right track.
So, still goes back to what Sam said, having a vision, the end goal and everything like that. But what motivates me and what wakes me up is, no matter how corny it sounds, I just want to be better.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I just want to be better. The reason why I'm doing all these exams, the reason why I'm setting up a hedge fund is I just want to be better. That's it.
It takes a different level of understanding to get to that mindset where you just want to be better, because and it goes across so many things. It's going to the gym. It's you reading your Bible. It's you reading a couple of chapters every day. Oh, by the way, everyone might be wondering why he keeps on referring to Sam. So Sam is a really good friend of his, mentor, I should say.
Yeah,
mentor,
definitely.
friend, mentor. And Sam wrote this book, Becoming Successful, How I Achieve My Dreams. His name is Samuel DeMaro. You can get this book at is it Innovate bookstore. So and he actually got it for me, and I've been reading it, and there's a whole lot he says in here. And the crazy thing is, you mentioned you want to do better, because page 53, Sam says, do something, no matter how small, that will benefit you, you will benefit from later. Looking for quick wins in and of itself is not a bad thing, but if you cannot translate that to benefits, or if you can't translate that to benefits that will serve your long-term success, then chances are you will not accomplish anything meaningful. So I can see where you get it from. It's about being better. Just small little things that you do. The craziest thing, I was telling people, my friends and I celebrate everything. Small little wins. Literally, you're now at 10K followers. Boy, well done. And it's crazy. But we've now created a culture where we celebrate everything. We celebrate so many little things. In the end, the big things don't even seem like big things anymore. It's like a culture, and it's crazy because that's in our heads. It's really in our heads, and that's what we do. I think and it's always just the people around you, the people around you, the company you keep, because every single day we come, we sit here, there's someone telling us, yo, we're doing this, we're doing that. Yo, guys, this is what's going on. And I can tell there's pure love within the circle, no jealousy. It's like, yo, that's motivation. Our boys gonna go and do this. That's motivation. We're gonna support each other the best way we can. And that's what I'm really happy about, because that's what life is. If you've got friends, like I was telling people the other day, I think most of my friendships are over a decade. Some are over 5 years, and it's not like I'm not open to new friends. It's just that when someone comes into your life, they just have a huge impact, and it's like, whoa, okay, that's a lot. This guy, he just comes into my life. I'm open to it. I don't limit. I don't limit people that come into my life. I let them come in, but they obviously move in stages. Yeah, it's a gradual process. It's not,
process.
Yo, you come into my life and then, woo, come through. Let's show you everything. No. You come through. You show me you show me you. I show you me, and then we build from there. If we click, cool. If not, we just put you in the acquaintance zone, and then you work your way out. And sometimes it takes a little time to figure out each other. But how do you handle your friendships actually? Because you've got friends all over the world.
Yeah. But I'm terrible. That's another thing.
That we know.
I'm terrible. Definitely.
How are you
I think
terrible?
everyone can say that. I'm not the best communicator.
True.
With my friends, right? And I'm not. How should I put it? It's hard for me to relate
Okay.
with certain things, with people going through things and stuff like that.
Right.
Because, in all honesty, I grew up in a pretty good household. I played golf since I was young. You know, I've never actually had like a deep struggle like that.
Okay, yeah.
So there's certain things I find hard to relate to. And though, you know, you study emotional intelligence and everything,
exactly. I was about to say,
it becomes hard for me to try and be able to understand. So though I try to communicate, I generally just give space.
Right.
Yeah, that's just me. It's one of those.
Yeah, I mean, emotional intelligence is definitely something that a lot of people need to work on. And you as an entrepreneur, as someone who's going to be, you know, managing thousands and thousands of people, emotional intelligence has to be, it's key. It's something that you have to learn. But I mean, I feel like you're doing better. Over the years, you're doing better. There's a time you used to suck.
Yeah.
Sorry to say,
Yeah.
you used to suck. It used to piss me off.
It's a learning process.
Piss me off. But
You know?
now you're getting better, and that's what it's about. You know, you being self-conscious, knowing, look, I need to work on this. You know, I need to work on this, and you know, actually working on it, because it's not just about talking about it, it's about action. You know, it's one thing just to talk, but we need to act. So I'm glad you brought that up. Golf. You keep mentioning golf. You know, thanks to you, I love playing golf now. I play golf religiously.
Yeah.
You know, I even got trained by your coach.
Yeah.
You know, and I love it so much. I've learned to connect. And maybe, you know, I'm not going to talk much about golf because I'm going to let you take this one. I know you've got a golf academy coming up. You know, why don't you tell us, you know, what is it with golf? What is it? What is so special about golf? Because I used to look at golf and just think, okay, it's where these guys wear fancy caps, because I used to think your caps were so expensive. So fancy caps, they've got ridiculously priced clubs. Because I remember there was a time, I think your dad bought you a driver for $1,200.
We had to import it from the States.
You had to import it from the States. And I was like, this guy, can you please just, you know, because $1,200 then for a driver, that was ridiculous, because that was literally a whole term's fees for some people, even in private schools. So I was like, this guy, what the hell?
Yeah.
But so do tell us, this golf thing, what is it, and how has golf benefited you over time? You know, and what would you say to someone who's been debating or on the edge about, you know, playing golf?
So my dad is the one who actually started playing golf at his workplace.
All right.
And then I used to just see the clubs in the back of his car.
Yeah.
And I just used to pull them out and I would start swinging and
hitting
scratching them. And then my dad was like, hey, no, it needs to stop. So then he literally picked me up one morning, dropped me off at the golf course, and then all of a sudden there was a golf bag there. And then got his caddies, like, take him to the course and he starts. And that's how I started playing golf. I started playing golf, and it goes back to the process. I keep saying that I just want to be better day in, day out.
Yeah.
When you start playing golf and you start practicing, you have to practice each and every day to get better.
True.
You put in 1% every day. By the time it's end of the month, you're like 30% and you're a lot better.
Right.
So that's what I grew up doing, and that's what's embedded in me. Right. This is why I said what motivates me is that I wake up every day just trying to be better. Right. I don't have a particular target I'm focused on, but then I know I did something yesterday that I can do better on.
Okay.
It's the same with trading. I'll look at a market and be like, I didn't make this entry on gold, right? Where are we now? What can I do to get better? Fine, let's not look at gold, let's look at something else.
Right.
Just trying to get better day by day. So played golf since I was 8, made the national team and everything. Went to Gary Player School of Champions, one of the top academies in South Africa. I was meant to go to the States, Florida State University, but I had a knee injury while I was at the Gary Player School of Champions. That then derailed me. Right. So then now I had to go through the mental issues that I had at the time, because literally I had projected a certain way I was going to go with my life, with golf. But then now I had to go through rehab. I needed knee surgery, which I refused. And I was just like, nah.
Wait, what? You refused?
Yeah, I refused. Why? Because with knee surgery, right, that knee will never be the same again.
Okay.
Yeah. So the amount of force, the amount of power I had, I would not have that anymore if they'd cut me up. So I was like, no, let me do physio. Let me do rehab. As much as I can, strengthen my knees, strengthen my legs. I love training legs because of that.
All right.
And I have that dedication in training legs because the power in the golf swing comes from your legs.
Okay.
It comes from the ground up. So over time, I built that resilience, that strength. By the time I went to VC, Varsity College Santon, I made the golf team and everything like that.
Right.
So it just became a gradual process that I started coming back and I became better. But the older you get, the stronger you become from the gym as well. So now with the whole golf academy, I'm trying to give the youth and the pros and even the amateurs that are here to compete at a top level and become better.
Right.
Because I believe my coach, Robson, is the best coach in the country.
True.
And I'm back with him.
Our coach?
Yeah, our coach is the best coach in the country. And we want to do a partnership with a professional golfer in South Africa. He has won an SA Open, but I'm not going to say who it is right now. We're still doing the paperwork on that, but we're going to have an academy. We're going to make sure that the junior golfers here get to travel to Orange Bowl, get scholarships, do everything, on the golfing side. Then we see where we go from there. But I've got a deep passion for golf and I want to get better. And I want to turn pro as well. Not to turn pro to make money, but I want to turn pro because all my other friends have turned pro.
All right. Okay.
That's why.
Just vibes.
Just vibes. Just turning pro for vibes.
All right, cool. Now, you keep going. One thing I'm going to say to you though is, as much as you want to be better, I know you didn't say it, but I know you definitely have a bigger picture of where you're trying to go, because otherwise people will leave this podcast and think, I need to be better. Just be better. But there's definitely a goal. He's like, at some point I want to reach there. So when he's saying I want to be better, he's just making the necessary steps. He's already mapped it out. He's just making those necessary steps every single day to reach the goal. So there's always a goal, because you need to be smart in this life. You need to set smart goals. Smart standing for what? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound.
Yes.
Yeah, I still remember that from high school. But anyway, my G, it has really been a pleasure having you. First episode of 2022. I got my boy here, and it's really been a pleasure. The next one we do, it's just gonna be random stuff. Random stuff. I'm gonna get people. Actually, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to expose you. So you create a list of questions, right? Things that you think people should know about me. And I will do the same. And you should really tell people what you did to your teeth, because when I met you, your teeth were all over the place. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I guess we'll catch you guys I was about to say next Wednesday, but today is actually Thursday. So we're dropping this episode probably today, but every Wednesday, Wilkie Experience will definitely be dropping an episode. And we just talk about anything and everything and just have a good time, man. We try and keep it as real as possible. We haven't really exploited as much as we could have from Mtho, because he's definitely got a lot to tell you guys and to just encourage you guys. But thanks for pulling through.
Definitely.
Now it's time to work.
Yeah.
Now it's time to work. Let's go. Okay.